Hey, it's Blatson Mike, and today I want to tell you about the show and the reason why I found this show because of the Olympics and friggin' basketball. I had to go find a new show because all the shows I watch have been on hiatus, and I came across this show called SkyMed. Now, I was like, okay, it's going to be like this hospital drama, but there was so much more to it. There was so much more substance to it. It it was like actual thrilling, actually. I'm on the third season now, and we have two more episodes left. And this third season was one of the most thrilling seasons of TV I think I've seen for a show of its caliber. And today, my guest is actually from that show. Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell me who you are.
Hi everyone, my name's Kheon St. Michael Clarke, and I play Tristan Green on SkyMed. How's everyone doing?
So the show is SkyMed, and I really, really enjoy the show. I can't wait for the fourth season. But my wife told me last night, she said, "What are we going to do? We only have two more episodes left." I said, "I hope that we go back to watching our regularly scheduled programming and wait for season four to come out." And yeah, this season three, man, is a banger of a show, man. You all just outdone yourself on season three.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of good reviews on that for sure.
So take me back to you, the young guy from Jamaica. What made you want to go into acting?
It's kind of something I've always wanted to do since I was a kid. It's actually, I guess you would look at it as being like a silly motivation, but there was this movie I watched when I was a kid. Well, I guess we're all older now. It was called like the Little Rascals,
Okay.
and it came out in theaters, and I just saw like I don't know. It was just like all these child actors, just like well, I don't know. It was a fun movie for me to watch, and it just kind of inspired me. Like, wow, like one day I wish I could do that, but uh, I had to wait for that to happen a little bit later on in life because I don't know if your audience are familiar with immigrant parents. Their main goal is like that's kind of like fluff dreams. Let's just focus on education and like finding a good job and that sort of stuff. So like basically dreams of like music and like arts and stuff, especially in my family, we're very I guess like strict conservative. So like that wasn't even like a thought. So I was pretty much like the only one in my family that had aspirations of that. So I wouldn't say I was like the black sheep, just kind of like the odd one standing out. Yeah.
So when did you finally get to act for the first time?
Actually, was in university. So I used to play football, a former wide receiver, and I needed like a class to fill out my course load, and it was intro to theater. So like one of my teammates was he was in theater and he was just like yo, and I was like crap, like I'm not gonna be eligible for the season, but there's no other classes that could that interest me. He's like, oh, take intro to theater, and I was like, yeah, sure, but like my concept of theater was I thought it was just gonna be every day, nonstop, 24/7, William Shakespeare, like old English. That's what my brain was telling me, right? And then he's just like, well, I guess back in the day you could take the class for a week and if you didn't like it, you could drop it and find something else. So I remember the first day of class, I just the first exercise was it was something simple as you're sitting on the couch eating a bowl of cereal, and everyone else in my class did their own rendition of it. I remember there was one person that pretended that they were in a desert crawling to their Mirage couch to finally enjoy their bowl of cereal. Other people were doing all sorts of other silly things. And well, when it was my turn to go up, I guess I didn't have a second thought about it. I basically, my acting style is like method acting without even really knowing what method acting was. So what I did was you didn't have any props or anything. Like I, in my mind's eye, I felt the weight of the bowl in my hand. I imagined there was milk in it because we've all eaten a bowl of cereal. I held the spoon. Imagine the weight of the spoon in my hand, and the audience, which was my class, I had turned into my living room in my mind. And there's like my favorite cartoon, and I'm watching it, and I'm like in my mind's eye, I'm feeling like the wetness of the milk, the taste, the texture, the crunch of everything, and I'm just for like 45 seconds just having a bowl of cereal. And basically I won the exercise,
Wow.
and I didn't realize it. And she's like, "Oh, basically my theater professor told me you kind of have like a natural ability at it, and it's maybe something I could look into doing in the future, but I don't know. You're I guess being a former athlete, just focused on like just playing football and just getting your degree and trying to go pro. So I wasn't really like thinking about it. But the
Mhm.
more I did it, the more I kind of caught the acting bug and fell in love with it. Ended up doing a couple of plays and yeah, and a couple musicals actually. So it became like something I enjoyed and turned into like a second passion outside of sports.
So did you and your family move to Canada at an early age, or were you already a teenager?
Oh no, I came when I was about 5 years old. All I remember, I had a final birthday party in Jamaica, and then maybe a month later, we were on a plane headed to Toronto in the middle of winter when I've never experienced winter before.
Was
So
there a reason for moving to Canada from Jamaica?
yes, sorry, say that again.
Was there a reason for moving from Jamaica to Canada?
Well, my dad was funny story. My dad was already up here, like finding like a job and everything because in Jamaica at the time, he was a police officer, but at the
Oh,
time back when we were in Jamaica, the government wasn't funding like the police department that well. It was so bad that like some officers didn't even have a pistol. My dad had to like go and like literally buy his own to like carry for his own protect. Like it was like pretty
wow.
bad. So it wasn't enough money to support like I guess like his now growing family. It was just me and my older brother at the time and my mom. So he decided to like come to Canada and found a good enough job that was able to support us. Stayed for a couple of years, and I think how they do it is like you have to file for your family, right? So
Mhm.
he filed for us, and I remember coming to Canada when about 5 years old. And my memories of my dad was kind of like in and out. Like I knew I had a dad, but like I would only like see him when he'd come back to visit while he because there's like a time period you have to like live in Canada before you can bring your family over.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So your dream as a teenager growing up in Canada was to play for what, the NFL, the CFL? What was
Um
it?
Actually, I was more of a basketball player, and football became. I started playing football in 12th grade because I guess a couple of the seniors had like graduated, and my basketball coach, who also volunteered on the football team, was like, basically, he's a funny guy. His name is Mr. Shelley. He's like literally walks up to me, like pauses for 30 seconds, looks me in my eyes, like, "Hey, you're tall, fast, and kind of strong. Want to play some wide receiver?" And I was like, okay." Sure, and then that's kind of how it went from there. And then I transitioned to football, and then ended up getting a. I guess they don't give full rides in Canada, but just I was like a partial scholarship for football and for the university I went to.
Wow, you were that good, huh?
It was just, I guess, natural athlete. I didn't, there. Let's just say my journey in life has been me discovering abilities that I didn't realize I had.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing, man. Um, so when was your first like real like job on a TV show or a movie?
I guess my first, well, before I booked this particular job I'm about to discuss, I was kind of doing like, like commercials here and there, maybe like a day player role on a show as like a cop, a couple lines here and there. But then I auditioned for this Disney series. It's on Disney Plus right now. They only did 2 seasons. It's called Gabby Duran and the Insidibles. And
Oh,
so I remember auditioning for um that series. I guess I don't know. The role was just supposed to be like a waiter. Didn't have a name or anything, but I ended up booking it, and I guess they enjoyed my performance on set so much for the lines that they gave me. They ended up writing me into the show, and yeah, so I did like 2 seasons of that. So yeah, so I guess that was my first recurring series. Yeah, so check it out if you haven't, on Disney Plus, called Gabby Duran and the Insidibles. It's a kid show. It's about like a girl who babysits aliens and they can morph into human form. And it stars Kylie Contral. I don't know if you're like very familiar with her. She's actually doing pretty great right now as a recording artist and acting. So yeah, that was my first, I guess, bigger role before I got SkyMed. Yeah.
so in Canada, we all know from America here where I live that Canada is a cheaper place to make movies. It's a cheaper place to, have productions done and things like that. Did you see yourself doing more of those type of Hallmark movies and Lifetime movies and things like that before Skyman?
Um, Honestly, like I kind of approach things as I guess from the actor's perspective, it's really I guess you kind of have to look at it like every job that you book is a blessing, right? Because
Mhm.
we're all trying to like build our resumes till we get to a point where we can make more decisions on the type of roles that we want to go out for slash read for and like book. But like that's gonna take a little bit of time. So I kind of looked at things like whatever I was able to book, I booked, because I remember before I told you my process without realizing it was method acting. So whatever audition I get, I can just dissect it, download the vibe of what's going on, and do my best interpretation with what I know from life to portray the character that's being to portray whatever is being asked of me. But so I guess I did get a lot of those roles as well, but I guess I wasn't really like thinking like, oh, this is my dream role to do Lifetime and like Hallmarks, but I also just kind of look at it as a blessing. Yeah.
So you think that helped you to develop the character on SkyMed because you're a black man and gay
Mhm.
on the, and not, us as people watching shows, okay? We really don't know who's gay, who's straight, who's whatever,
Yeah.
unless we know the actor, of course, And do you feel like that being able to get into that type of role, the way that you said you download things and the way that you see it in your head, was it hard to get into that type of role, or was it fairly easy?
Um, I wouldn't say it was either. I kind of looked at it as sort
Mhm.
of a challenge because I guess in those in playing a character that has a different sexual orientation than your own. I guess it's kind of something like you have to kind of know who you are, like in your own personal life,
Mhm.
because how do I say this? Like, all right. So okay, some people will look at things as like, okay, the whole term of being like homophobic and like homophobia
Yeah, yeah,
and
of
such, right?
course.
It's the actual like fear of something, but like I've never been like physically or like sexually attracted to men. So, but I didn't have like a fear of like playing this type of role because
But you're
it's
comfortable
not
in your own
like,
personality, is what you're saying.
say again.
You're comfortable. and your own sexuality. You know who
Yeah,
you
so
are.
it's like even when we had to do the scenes, like we're acting and such, like I can like go there in my mind to get the best whatever result what we're trying to get out of the scene, but it's not like something. How do I say explain it? Like okay, being a heterosexual male,
Mhm.
when I kiss a woman, there's a certain, I guess, like tingle or whatever you
Mhm.
feel. But like when I have to do that, there was kind of like there's like nothing, no tingle, no anything. It's just like,
Yeah,
oh, it's kind of like a, I wouldn't want to say like an emotional wall, but there's just like, but like it wasn't, there wasn't, like he says, like I'm comfortable enough to like do it, but there was no, because I feel like some people they if they'd be terrified to even like do that, do that on screen because maybe of some sort of like other psychological thing, or maybe something that they need to like revisit within themselves, all sorts of things, right? But like for me, like you said, it's just more, it's acting. I looked at it as an acting challenge. I want to play it in a way that I would be respectful to the community,
of
but
course.
also like knowing your limits within yourself at like at, you know what I mean? It's just kind of,
Yeah, I get you. I get you. I
yeah.
understand. So how was it doing that kind of an actor with the other actor in that sense? Your boyfriend's straight too, right?
Yeah.
So both of you playing two gay roles. Do you feel like that they put on a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of stress sometimes, because there's sometimes like when you're watching Skymed, okay, and there's a lot of gay characters in it. You know, if anybody's watched it, there's a lot of gay characters. Do you feel like they put it on pretty strong, and sometimes more stronger than what it might have not needed to be? Like one thing me and my wife see, and you and the guy that you are the boyfriend with, is it's complicated all the time. I mean, it's just complicated. It's like tit for tat, like, okay, well, he did this, so I'm going to do this. Do you think that they portrayed you all in the right sense, or they went overboard?
I mean, I guess when we're doing the scenes as actors, like the show's written in a certain way, and like you have to play the scenes, right? But like, you have conversations, and sometimes it's like, oh, well, like did we need to do that? But like it's like we don't really like make those decisions. We don't have the we don't make those calls, right? So do I think that they put it on a bit much? Personally, like there are moments where like I was like, yeah, but at the end of the day, it's like I'm I'm a character in like a broader story filled with like other characters, right? So I kind of look at it like the show's like what, 45 minutes to an hour if you're watching it on regular
Mhm.
television without uh ads, but you probably streamed it, so it's probably like what, like 45-50 minute show, give or
Yeah.
take.
Yeah.
So I guess like to lead, I guess because I write scripts as well. Like I'm actually,
Oh,
I have like three pilots like I have on the shelf right now that I'm like pushing. So it's kind
yeah.
of
Nice.
like you need to have, there's like seven or eight characters, right? And there's only a certain amount of time in a show. So you have your two main characters, which are Haley and Crystal.
Mhm.
So most of the story is gonna revolve around like them and their lives. So like the other characters that when now you go down the line, you can't necessarily like resolve everything and have things like peaceful. So it's almost like when you're writing, you have to keep like a sense of like, okay, this situation seems to be under control, but what about these people? They still have this conflict going on. So like maybe we need to kind of like keep that open ended. So like to keep the audience on their toes. So like it's kind of like a formula. And I don't think I'm giving away too many like secrets to anyone that does like
Yeah,
creative writing or like write stories. It's kind of like the same thing, but it's a lot of cast and it's a lot of characters. So I guess it did get dragged on a bit. But like I said, I'm not the writer.
One thing that I didn't like was when Jeremy passed away. And people have seen this already, probably, so it's not like we're giving away secrets.
Yeah.
But when Jeremy passed away, we found out that Cuckoo died too. But they never told us. They just like she was in a hospital, and then Jeremy died, and then Crystal's talking, and she's talking about Cuckoo dying, and we didn't even know she died. It was like so. It was kind of like a surprise. It was like, oh, wait a minute. We had no clue about that. But take us back for the people that have watched SkyMed, and the most uh, heartbreaking point of the show so far is Jeremy dying.
Mhm.
Did they prepare you all for that? I mean, were you all like, were you prepared? I know you read the script, okay? I'm
Mhm.
not saying that. But were you all prepared for such a beloved actor on the show to leave? Were you all, I mean,
I mean, I guess in a sense, like a lot of us are like friends off of set, and like half of us live on the East Coast, and the other half of us live on the West Coast, and we all like keep in touch. So, without saying too much, we let's just say we were, we were made aware. But the actor Jeremy, his name is Braden Clark. He's on another show called North of, I think it's called North of North, and he's excellent on that. I think that one's on Netflix, so you might want to check that out if once you finish SkyMed. If you want to hold on, let me. I can't Google right now, but I think it's called North of North. That might be a
He
show
was
that,
great, man. He
yeah.
made us, he's one of those characters that made us not like him. Then we felt sorry for him. And then we just absolutely loved him.
Mhm.
I mean, his arc, and people don't know what arc means. Explain to people what an arc is.
Well, you have the like I guess when a show begins, you have all your characters, and then you're introduced to them in a certain light or certain perception, and sometimes that perception carries over a few episodes, and then you kind of see their journey of like, all right, let's just say Jeremy, for example, being known as kind of like the knucklehead screw up, but like has a good heart trying to like make things right and like better and like change for the better, even though he like his way of going about things might not be the correct or like the most what's the word I'm looking for, the most like the right, the going through the proper channels of doing things,
Yeah.
right? And then he sees progression of, all right, I need to grow up. This person I love, Crystal, is even though like I guess in their childhood they used to run around, being like young and in love, doing crazy things. And then she decided to grow up and like take charge of her life. And then you see him, I guess, maybe like looking at her, maybe mentally leaning on her as an example of like, I need to do more and do better to uh, not only like elevate my life, but like help elevate my community by him becoming a paramedic, right? So I guess without giving it away, that's kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the arc.
Now, do you
And
feel like your arc in the story was fulfilled?
I'd say so because Tristan started out as someone who just didn't do relationships, just casual hookups because of, like a lot of people that are in in situations like that, whether you're gay or straight or whatever you are, like whatever your orientation is, it's you're running away, like not being able to like stay with somebody or like stick in a relationship is because maybe you're running away from other things in your life. Like what we found out, Tristan's running away from the pain of losing his brother who died on his watch,
Hmm.
right? So like, so you see the arc of like, finally opening up to Novak and to, you know have somebody to share things with, while also learning how to properly be in a relationship and communicate with which is something that he's not used to. Neither of them are used to it as much, but like the fact that they're trying to make it work. I guess
They're
that's like the
almost the
arc of like
same
learning how to
character.
be in a relationship, learning how to love properly
You're almost the same character in a way.
in real life.
Mm. No, in the story, you're both
Yeah.
sort of the same character. You and Novak, because his family puts a lot of pressure on him
Mm,
because of his brother, and you feel like in the show your mother puts a lot of pressure on you because of your brother.
mhm,
So, but there's that beautiful uh, reunion that you have in it with your mother and your stepfather that just gives us all the freaking joy in the world, because we followed your character from the beginning, the first season. I tell my wife all the time, I don't know if I could have watched this show in 2022 when it first came out because I'd drive myself nuts wanting to watch the next season, and there's just no way, Now I'm to the point where I got 2 episodes left. I don't know when the fourth season is going to start, and I'm like, what am I going to do? Because I know it
that
sounds weird. It sounds weird, but it's like every week you go to those shows because you feel like they're part of your family
mm,
because you watch them every week. You're there, and with TV the way it is now, you can watch it all in one sitting, or you can wait day to week to week to watch it. And like we're talking about arcs. Like right now, Haley's on an arc that
mm,
probably won't clear up in the next 2 seasons or next 2 episodes that I haven't watched. We
mm,
pretty much can guarantee that. And then her boyfriend, the guy that runs all everything, he's got an arc that's going on right now that we probably won't see the end of. So um, where are you with everything now with the show? Where are you?
well, I was only contracted for 3 seasons when I did initially auditioned for the show. I don't know, like there's options, but I guess the way that we all sat down and discussed it, we I guess figured out like 3 seasons would be kind of like ideal because how television shows work. Even though you can be contracted for like multiple years, you don't know. There's
Mhm.
no guarantee that you're going to get another season or another season after that, right? So, so I only did 3 seasons, and I love my role as Tristan. But as it's show business, I'm ready to move on. I got a couple other things on the go right now. Like I said, I'm writing. I'm doing a lot of
Mhm.
that, and also I had a movie. Well, it's out right now. It's called Widow's Payback, starring me and Bianca Lawson. So if you're bored, you might want to check that out. It's I get to play a bad guy in that, so complete opposite of Tristan.
Oh.
Um, and there's another film I'm in coming out. I guess we don't know the exact date. Sometime in 2026. Most likely, I'm guessing going to be October. It's called The Dregs. It's kind of like a thriller comedy. I can't give too much away about that, but that'll be hitting the theaters hopefully soon.
So would you go back and play Tristan again?
Um, hmm. I haven't really thought about that because my mindset's more on like, you know, I don't know. I guess I might come back if there was like a special episode where you got to call in the the old reinforcements for like a rescue or something like that.
Uh-huh.
But like in terms of like being in every episode, I'm kind of like looking forward to doing like other things. But
Hmm.
like if need be, if you know to do like an episode or two or something like that, like I'm game. But right now my brain's focused on like a different trajectory.
Well, tell me. So you say you wrote three uh, different projects that you're trying to promote. Can you speak about any of them at all, or is it under wraps, or what?
Not yet. Two of them I have copywritten. The one that I'm like really in love with. I haven't gotten that copywritten yet because I got to get the pitch deck going.
Uh-huh.
But that one I can say it's military and tactical and Canadians and immigrants. That's all I can say.
That's funny. So,
Yeah.
of all the work you've ever done, what's one thing that you want to do that you've never done?
Honestly, it's funny that you said that. I was actually having a conversation with one of my friends. Actually, I'll give him a shout out. His name is Stephen Adekolo. He's an up and coming actor as well. And fun fact about him: you ever heard of a show called Superman and Lois?
Yeah,
Yeah. So Steel,
not
Superman's sidekick.
familiar.
Well, anyways,
Okay.
he's the stunt. He's the all the action of Steel blowing up stuff and getting tossed around. That was my friend in the suit. So just a fun
Oh,
fact, if anyone didn't know, his name's Stephen Adekolu. And so yeah, I was having a conversation with him, and we're just kind of discussing like the types of roles that we've gotten in the past, and like looking forward to the future. And we just ended up having a conversation like, all right, if you're gonna be you like what basically start talking about creating your own dream role. And so
mhm.
basically the role that I want to create is the role that the one that I'm like super under wraps about, I can't talk about. So I
Okay.
basically started doing that. So I just wanted to do something more the lines of like action, military, like weapons. I know everyone's not very friendly with like guns and stuff, but like that's kind of in my family background. I have family in the military back in Jamaica, and obviously my dad is a former
Uh,
law enforcement. So
I live in
that's
America,
kind of
man.
say
I live
again.
in America, man. Everybody's got a gun here, you
Yeah,
know?
so I guess in Canada everyone's about guns, but like and I
Yeah.
being coming from Jamaica, and it's kind of like a normal thing of life. Obviously, guns aren't the problem; it's the people that are using them. So that's why I always have to.
Exactly. Well
Yeah.
spoken.
So
Well spoken.
yeah.
So
So
what?
that's
Let me ask you
stuff more
this.
like that, more action, more
Let me ask you
thriller.
this. Okay.
Yeah.
We have DC and we have Marvel. Okay.
Hmm.
Two questions. If you could be cast as a superhero that's not on DC or Marvel, which would you choose, Marvel or DC?
If I had to be cast as a superhero on DC or Marvel, is that your question? Hello?
Yeah, that's not in the DCU or the MCU.
That's not in the DCU. So I'd have to create a superhero, as you're saying?
Well, maybe if you knew this, the comic books or whatever, somebody that's not been made into a superhero yet. Like how we just had Wonder Man.
Yeah.
I had no clue who the hell Wonder Man was. You know,
Honestly, there's that one's tough to answer because like there's one I'm getting older too, so I don't know how like with certain roles. There's one character that hasn't been made into live action yet. His name is Static Shock, but I'm like I think I might be a little bit too old and like big for that. He's kind of like a smaller stature guy. One character I know they have made into like uh he was in a movie, but I'm just putting this out into the universe. If they
okay.
ever decide to do like an X-Men series,
Yeah,
I'm throwing my hat in. I want to play Bishop.
a Bishop.
I
That's a good character.
Yeah, I'll grow the dreads. I'll do the extra bicep curls, whatever it takes. I'm ready.
So, if you were in a Star Wars TV series or movie, would you want to be a Sith or would you rather be a Jedi?
Okay, here. I'm gonna do you one even better. And I the only reason why I'm saying this because I blame oh my gosh, I love the Mandalorian. I want to be a Mandalorian. Like, okay, I get Jedi's are cool, you can like move stuff with them, but like I kind of like the heroes that don't have too much power. Like they have to rely on like their intellect or resources. Like,
Yeah.
okay, not, I'm gonna. well, we're jumping series here, but like, well, for a perfect example is Game of Thrones. Everyone's favorite character is like, oh, I like Jon Snow. I like da 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 da. Whoever. My favorite character on that show, Tyrion Lannister, hundred
Tyrion.
percent all the way down because he used it even physically. Like he could have been killed or like disposed of in any way, anytime, but because of his, yes, he had some status, but he used his intellect to get himself out of situations, and I love characters like that. So I don't like characters that have like all the power. I don't get me wrong, like I like Superman and like and all that kind of stuff, but the characters that are not super powerful but like rely on their IQ to win or get out of certain situations, those are the characters that like I'm like, yes, I want to see more of that.
So,
So I
so
guess
I'm going to say something that's probably going to be very, very radical to people. My favorite character in recent years that's in Star Wars is the Stranger and the Acolyte, but but the worst show ever in Star Wars history is the Acolyte.
yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
The
Like you can
Stranger's
love the
so
character, but like the
interesting.
way that they created the show, you're kind of like, okay, this is a little weak, or like I don't like the way, you know what I mean?
It was just
So,
garbage. It was like, you know, well, I'm 50, 54 years old, okay? And I always grew up, the Jedi were the all knowing, greatest, the best people in the world. The Acolyte at the end of it puts a spin on it that the Jedi's were liars and they knew what was going on and they weren't as good as what they were. The Acolyte tried to make us feel sorry for the Sith, not in the
yeah.
way we feel sorry for Darth Vader, but in the sense that okay, well, they're two people fighting against a whole Jedi army, if that makes sense. And
Mhm.
it just was not great. Now, if you were to put Plagueis, which we only got to see Plagueis like this much, if you put Plagueis and the Stranger and a new show and tell us how Dooku become a Sith along with Emperor Palpatine, because we don't know where any of this happens. It's kind of like with the Mandalorian. You said you like the Mandalorian.
Mhm.
We don't know where Grogu went
Yeah,
when Force
exactly.
Awakens. I
Yeah.
mean, where is he? I mean, they just like leave this shit so open sometimes that it's like, okay,
They
I
do it
can,
on purpose because here's the thing. I'm just gonna give a actually like nobody told me this. It's just me just like analyzing television. The
of
reason why they
course,
do this is because they want to. Oh, even as a writer, um, you want to leave things open just in case if you want to revisit it to make another series or another movie to like to like tie up certain like loose ends or like answer certain things and also keep the lore going and to
gotcha,
keep you
gotcha.
talking about it.
Well, they really did do a good job with Obi-Wan because, you know, we all saw Star Wars. That's the greatest movie of all time, in my opinion, is Star
Mhm.
Wars. Might be different for you or anybody else, but it was what made me
Interstellar for
want to
me,
be a
but
movie. It made me want to be a movie collector. I got like 10,000 of them on DVD and Blu-ray and all that.
mhm.
But my point is, when they did Obi-Wan, they really thought it through because Princess Leia in Star Wars is like Obi-Wan, like she don't know who the hell he is. She just knows that he fought with her dad in the rebellion. Well, they really did a good job when Obi-Wan goes to see Leia again when she's a kid, and he tells her, nobody can know we know each other. So they really they tied it together right. Kind of
Mhm.
like Luke, when Luke sees a lightsaber for the first time, he never saw the chick's lightsaber the whole time she was chasing him. He might saw a glow or something, but he didn't. He never saw her lightsaber. So they tie those things together really good. But then you get Ahsoka and you get Thrawn, who Thrawn's like this mastermind, you know, and then you get him say, "Oh, don't worry about it. We'll get him later," or "Let's do what the witches want to do." And it's like, what? That's
You
not
know what?
Thrawn.
You want to know why sometimes that kind of stuff happens, and I guess we can. I'm referencing Game of Thrones as well. Too many cooks in the kitchen, and the original creator or like the person that had all the input, there must have been some kind of disagreement, and either they like stepped away. All right, you guys handle it, and then it just go, and then that's where you have season 8 of Game of Thrones, and that's where you have episodes like that because the original person that was involved in it somehow becomes less involved. Like, here's a perfect example. I'm a huge anime fan, and my favorite anime of all time, it's Dragon Ball Z.
Oh
We
yeah,
had Dragon Ball Z. I love that series, and they came up with this crap called Dragon Ball GT, and it was okay, but it was just terrible. You want to know why? The original creator of Dragon Ball Z, Akira Toriyama, wasn't involved. And then they
it's
came
kind of
back
like
with this series called Dragon Ball Super, and now we're back in love with the show because Akira was involved. It's the same
it's kind of
thing.
like kind of like The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
You know, when Walking Dead first came on, man, it was shut up at 9 o'clock. Nobody talks. We watch the episode. We don't even talk to each other. We watch it. By the ninth season, we're like, man, I ain't watching this shit no more. It's just
Yeah.
getting to be monotonous. It's just so stupid. And then they start giving us all these offshoot shows. And we're like, man, why is Daryl going to another country? Nobody gives a shit about Daryl going to another country, you know? And you get
Mhm.
4 seasons of this shit. And you're like, how? How did you get 4 seasons of it? You know,
Because
I
they think it
mean,
makes money.
oh yeah, it's about that money. Like Goguru, man, when he first was shown on the scene as Baby Yoda, they made billions. We're talking billions of dollars. Because now women were sitting down with their boyfriends and husbands or girlfriends
Oh, it's
or
so
wives.
cute. Like a baby.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I got my
Yeah.
ex-girlfriend one too. Like the marketing worked.
It worked. And
Yeah.
you know, and then they named him Goguru. And you're like, why in the hell would you name some stupid, silly name like that? It's like, what? Everybody's still gonna call him Baby Yoda. To this day, my wife's like, I'll go watch a Mandalorian movie. She won't call him Goguru. She just will not call him Goguru. She's
Yeah,
like,
it's Baby
that's the
Yoda.
dumbest name that I've ever heard in my life. But anyway, man. So if anybody wants to reach out to you or anything like that, uh, your Instagram or your Facebook, what's the best way?
The best way to reach out to me is on Instagram at Keon St. Michael Clark, all one word. There's Keon, the KheonSt, Michael
Yeah.
Clark at just at Instagram. I guess I don't know how you search it, but you can look me up on there.
Well, when I found you, I was really excited that I was going to be able to maybe talk to you because I look for you and I look for Novak, the guy who plays Novak, and
Yeah, he's
he never
rarely
answered
active on
me.
IG.
He
He's
never
like,
answered me, but you did, and I was like, oh, this is so cool, you know.
no, he's
So
too busy with his cats and his girlfriend. So
he looks like a
yeah,
cool dude, man.
no, he's
The, you
dope.
know,
He's dope.
it, the whole show, like I said, really took me by surprise. I was like, oh god, another ER in the sky or whatever, you know. And it really, you know, we live in this day and time where everybody's like everything's so woke and this is woke and that's woke, and I just don't give a shit. You know, it's like they said Superman was woke. I'm like, I don't give a crap. I just want to watch TV and movies and not worry about any kind of freaking anything. I just want to watch them.
Mm.
And now that I know that you're not gay, really, and he's not gay, it really, I need to go back and watch it again because you all did such a great job, man. You all made me really feel that you were two guys that loved each other. And it was just, the acting was amazing at times, you know. Sometimes it was over the top, but I mean,
I
that's
mean, we had
that's
to do what
TV
we
for
had to
you.
do. Sometimes you got to
Yeah,
follow direction.
yeah. That's the reason
Yeah.
why you'll
So
get more roles because you follow direction, you know.
yeah.
But anyway, thanks for talking to me today. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
No, I think we covered pretty much everything, and just when just don't forget the name. you never know. You might see my name as a creator of a show one day. But I'm working on it. But thanks for having me.
Well, hold on one second, okay?
Okay.
Let me end this recording.